Throughout my life, I kept to a very straight path. I was raised in a small village in Vietnam. I often had to dress in my sister's hand-me-downs. My father was on the losing side during the war, so he never knew when they might come for him. Apparently, if that time came, he wouldn't be coming home, but I knew nothing about this. As a kid, maybe I had an instinctive sense of the danger, and that's maybe why I learned to keep a low profile and live a quiet life. I naturally adopted ways of avoiding trouble. Always quiet, low-key, never drawing attention, staying with the routine. But my path in life wasn't destined to be straightforward. Actually, for a while, it seemed as if there might not be a path at all.
Hay cho con mình đi chơi một chút.
Chúng tôi đi trước nha.
I just thought we were taking a stroll in the neighborhood. I could never have imagined we'll be traveling overseas in a boat. For many years, my father had secretly been building a boat for our escape. For him, this was all part of the plan.
Chị, vào đây!
But for me, it came completely out of the blue.
Nếu không chúng tôi sẽ bắn. Dừng lại, ngay lập tức.
It was so unreal, even the shooting didn't scare me. We weren't just running from the authorities. We had to keep an eye open for pirates too. Personally, the worst of it was the seasickness. When we reached Malaysia, for me, it wasn't so much that we had gotten away. I was more relieved not to be seasick anymore. For about a year, we lived as refugees.
Bố ơi, trái này là trái gì? Táo này hả con? Táo này là táo Tàu, táo Tây hay táo Mỹ gì đó. Nó rất là ngon, nhưng hạt hơi cứng.
After we were officially granted amnesty and made it to San Diego, I remember it was Christmas time. I heard America was the land of dreams, and for some reason, I had this idea that everything there, buildings and all, was all made of gold. However, I was kind of relieved when I found out this wasn't true.
Có chuyện gì vậy ba?
Cái dàn ở chỗ này nè, nước xanh nó chảy ra.
Thiệt hả? Để tôi coi.
Ở đây có nước nóng.
I always kept to that straight path.
Give me my damn money.
I was quiet, kept it low key, not drawing attention to myself and holding to my routine. That was my way of staying out of trouble.
Seriously, I warned you. Oh my god, what a fool.
I did not particularly enjoy studying, but I knew I had to. In America, I was just happy to be making progress, one step at a time. And so in time, I became an engineer for a water treatment company. Thanks to this, I could start raising a family, and when that happened, I had a huge sense of relief. When I first joined the company, there was a senior member of staff named Debbie. I especially needed to keep to myself around her. My life up until then was like I had been in my own bubble, just focused on what was in front of me. You could say my thinking was kind of limited, withdrawn maybe. It was at this point that I had an encounter that would change my life. It was with Terry Smith, who was my boss at the time. Terry had been a captain in the Navy. We were like total opposites and came from different generations. Yet, for some reason, he chose to take me under his wing. Why that was? Even now, I have no idea.
Hey, Tree. You ever think of expanding your role here?
Terry taught me how to present myself in a business environment.
I mean, you don't want to give off the impression of lacking confidence. You know, your knees are too close together, a little further apart. No. Try crossing your legs. No, put them a little further apart and set your foot on top of that knee, maybe. That's just... Let's save that until you're U.S. president. The idea is to put the other person's mind at ease. And don't grip too hard. If you want to put some more emotion into it, just hold on a little longer. And look the other person in the eye, Tree. You know what I think? You need to learn to notice a lot of new things out there. Gauge what's going on in the world around you. Keep an eye on your colleagues. Who's struggling? Who may need help? There's a whole world out there beyond your field of view. And I know up until now, you've been following a path of survival. And I don't know, maybe that's the way it needed to be. But from now on, it's about you, Tree. And it's about discovering your path. A path that leads you to joy and fulfillment.
Joy.
That's right.
Ủa, chị, lâu ngày mới gặp. Mọi người vẫn khỏe hả? Thôi, mọi người ở đây vẫn khỏe. Vợ đang mang thai đó, sẽ sinh được con gái. Tên của nó là Liên. Rồi sau này sinh ra rất là tốt cho dòng họ của mình.
A path that leads you to joy and fulfillment.
It was as if I had been awakened from a deep sleep. It was strange. Everything around me felt welcoming and bright. Now, instead of seeing things in black and white, my world was full of colors.
Hey guys. Hey. Wow, great job. Fantastic work.
It was like when the dawn breaks, and you can slowly make out the world around you. I had to stick to that straight and narrow path of survival for years. Now, I knew it was my chance to choose my own way.
Tree.
Where is he? Has anyone seen Tree?
Really good. Yeah. Really good.
Tree! Congratulations! This is from HQ. You did it, Tree! You did it! You deserve it. I'm so proud of you.
Now, I greet each day, grateful for all aspects of life, however tiny.
He had worked hard to get it, he deserved it, and he was our very best option. So the fact that the right decision had been made was just such a relief, and I was so happy for him. I've never done anything like that in my whole life. And yes, I did. I jumped up and I squeezed him so hard, and I cried for 2 weeks, and I'm not exaggerating. And yes, I'm a very strict person, and I've never done anything like that before.
Haven't seen you for a while. You were here, I wasn't. Well, let me introduce to one of our fine supervisors right here, John Mayo. He keeps the plant running. He takes all the heat from me. Yes. How we doing? Good?
Are you going to put your feet up on the desk?
No, not really.
Morning, Debbie.
Hi. I'm getting my birthday cake.
Come on now, how are you doing?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. I just shoved all my presents down here.
I'm still on that straight path. Whereas before, I kept that low profile, didn't draw attention to myself. Now, I look up and am heading exactly where I want to go.